everybody. Jeff Williams here with AskJeffWilliams.com. Okay, now today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Now, I know I've taken you out in the fields and shown you how to do placer mining, but I haven't really shown you very much about hard rock mining. So today I thought I'd do something special and show you how to do a little hard rock mining. Now this mine in particular is in a special secret location. I'm going to tell you where it's at, and there is gold that comes out of here, at least it did back in the late 1800s. What we're going to do today is we're going to pull some samples, take it back and see if there's any free mill gold in it, actually see how much. And then along the way I'm going to explain how they did hard rock mining and how hard it was, no pun intended. But before I do that, I have to emphasize, please do not go in mines under any circumstances. They're extremely dangerous. There's so many things that can happen to you that I can't even go into the list right now. But I've been doing this my entire life, and I've been in this mine several times, so I'm pretty much sure of what to expect in here. But like I said, for the most part, mines are unsafe. Stay out, stay alive. So with that being said, let's go take a look. Okay. Now, we're in what's called a drift. A drift is basically a tunnel that follows the vein of material. You can see it right here. And the roof is called the back, and the walls are called the ribs, and the floor, of course, is called the floor. So, anyway, what we're doing here is, or what they were doing, is they would advance the tunnel in this drift, and they're chasing this limonite to see if it gets any thicker. Now here you can see these pockets. There's one right there. There's one there, one here. Now the way that they would do this in the old days is, before they came out with pneumatics, is a miner, a prospector, would get a piece of steel, which was a drilling rod, and they get a big old 5-pound sledge, and they turn it and hammer and turn and hammer, and then they do that all day long until they got a series of holes in the face right here, and they load it with dynamite. And then in the old days they'd light it by fuse and run like hell. But as time progressed and technology evolved, they would use pneumatic drills, come in here, and of course they use what's called a jackleg. They drill a series of holes here in the face, and usually, I don't know, 8 to 16 holes, depending on how hard this rock is. They load it all up, shoot it in sequence, and fire in the hole! Yee-hoo! Blast all that rock out. It'd land on a slick plate, muckers would come in, muck it on out of there, advance that tunnel 5 to 8 feet. I know, it's a lot of work just to move 5 to 8 feet. Anyway, so take a look at this, come here. You can see this beautiful vein of limonite that they were chasing. Right here on the outer edges of the limonite and the dolomite, you can see this copper carbonate right here. It's like a lens around it. And it changes color over here. You can see where it's more of a bluish color, like a malachite color. And in some mines, it's azurite blue. Beautiful looking, but this is where the gold is traveling. Of course, it's really hard to get it out of there because that's solid rock. Anyway, take a look at this. Somebody's been in here high grading. They call it high grade when you come in and you take somebody else's minerals. Anyway, you can see where it goes all the way back there, and they got all that beautiful limonite on the right-hand side, and then over here you can see all the bluish greens of the copper carbonate. So they are on their bellies in there, getting it out of there. But there is gold in here. It's just a matter of trying to get it out. So we're going to take the old sample bucket, go to another drift, and see if we can't get some good samples and then take them back to the house and pan them out for the gold. Here we go. Ooh-wee. That's a long tunnel. I'll tell you what. Okay, so what we're going to do is we got this winds in the floor. Remember I told you winds are in the floor and raises are in the ceiling. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take the old sample bucket, lower it down in there, because the good gold's down there. It always is. So here we go. Remember, don't try this at home. See, it still keeps going down. All the way to China, baby. Let's go. Ooh-wee. Tell you what, you gotta watch your head in these places. Come here, take a look at this. I want to show you something. Here's an excellent example of some of this limonite. Okay, take a look at this. Right here, take a look at that. See that? That's a big old body of, or lens as they used to call it, of limonite. Now here on the outer seam, see that? That's copper carbonate. It's got malachites and chrysocollars in there. It's basically copper, and it's on the outer lens. And of course, next to that is the country rock, which is the limestone or dolomite. But you can see this huge body right here where they were blasting this out. And this has gold in it. It's really super fine, but it's got gold in it. And you gotta crush a lot of it up. So when you're sampling, you wanna make sure that whatever you're pulling out is worth your energy. And that's why we're going over here. Let me show you this. Okay, this little guy right here. See all the blacks, manganese oxide, and that nice yellow. Remember I told you about the yellow stuff? It has the highest content of gold. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna chip this stuff out, and then we're gonna haul it back up to the surface, baby. Yeah, I know, that's a lot of work. And then we're gonna take it back and grind it up and see if there's any gold in it. So here we go. Woo-wee. Can you imagine doing this all day long? For 10 to 12 hours a day? I don't know how the old timers did it. Oh man, you gotta be kidding me. Woo! I tell you what, you really gotta earn this gold. Okay. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll take this bucket back to the house, grind it up, and see how much gold we got. I know we got gold. It's just a matter of how much. So, here we go. Okay, so what I've gone ahead and done is I've ground up a lot of this stuff into a nice fine powder. I don't know if you can see that in there. Yeah, take a look at that. Okay, so really interesting stuff. I want you to take a look at this. There's a lot of iron in here. See that? I mean, just all kinds of crystallized iron and bog iron. Really interesting stuff. And then, of course, the limonite on the outside. And I want you to take a look at that through this right here. Yeah, that's all crystallized in there. And you got all those, some of it's solid and some of it's not. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the old trusty dusty gold pan and we're gonna pan out and see if there's anything in there. So here we go. Whew. Should have worn my dust mask, huh? Take a look at that. See how fine a powder that is? Ooh-wee. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pan this out and see what's in it. Or I should say how much. So here we go. Ooh, look at that dust coming off of there, huh? Look how dirty that is. Ooh-wee. Look at that. See all that? Got iron in there? All right in through there. Hoo-hoo-hoo. That's why you gotta be real careful panning that. All right, that should be enough. All that iron up in there. Okay. There's a couple fine pieces right up in there. See if I can just shake them down for you. Oh yeah, hold on, look at that. Ooh-wee. It's really hard when you're working with all this black sand, let me tell you. Oh yeah, look at that. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a nice piece right there. There's pieces there, all in through there. I'll see if I can shake them out of this black sand and get them to come to the top. What do you think about that, huh? I don't know if you can see that. Right up in there. That looks like some quartz right there. Let's get the old jeweler's loupe out and see what that looks like. Oh yeah, look at that. Ain't that nice? Ooh-wee. Not bad for a small sample, huh? You can see how rough it is coming out of the Lode like that. Not too shabby, I'll take it. Alright. Well, there you have it. There is gold in that limonite. I knew there was, and it's just a matter of trying to get it out of there. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of getting gold through hard rock mining. That's why they call it hard. So, anyway, if you've enjoyed today's episode, please rate, share, and subscribe. And as usual, leave me a comment because I want to hear what you guys got to say about all this. So, anyway, until next time, this is Jeff Williams with AskJeffWilliams.com saying, just because you got black sand in the pan don't mean you got gold in the hand. Take care.